welcome to my class today. So today's class, we're going to do some mindful joint exercises to start. We're going to loosen up all of our joints. And this can be a great shorter practice, which you can do any day, anytime to refresh your body, to check in, to also maintain the health of your joints in your body. It's not often described that way, but sometimes we have pains or difficult to heal injuries because we don't put enough nerve energy and signal processing through the channels of our body for the awareness of ourself and our body to be able to adequately heal or to balance and adapt to those things. So that can be achieved by just awareness exercises, and it can be achieved more directly by going to each part of the body, mobilizing it, and thereby improving the circulation both of blood and of nerve energy. More than that, this is really good practice to do because it makes us feel more and understand more the body when we're in the yoga poses and asana. Just a little bit of joint mobility and warm-ups. Then when you do your pose, it's high definition of how far can I go comfortably. The efficiency of your muscles to support yourself in that position as well gets a lot easier. And the experience which we're trying to create in our practice, that steadiness, becomes more manifest, more embodied. And the practice then becomes meditative, right? If you can be steady in your physical, then the mind will start to reflect that. And as well, the breath, right? If we can smooth and lengthen our breath, even when the physical is challenged, that will also help the physical to maintain itself in the challenge and help the mind to steady and calm through the challenge. Now, if that doesn't sound useful for normal everyday life, I don't know what could, right? Pretty much the only thing that really matters in terms of how we work and live through life is our ability to place attention and to stream our energy and awareness towards conscious intention, right? The thing that you want to choose to focus on and keeping your focus with it. This is the bliss and this is the challenge. And it's really a beautiful playground to work with and to see how our life can unfold. All right. So let's start standing up. You can come to standing position if you're not already. And let's just take a moment, hands on the hips. Bring your feet in a little bit closer. And we're going to start with kind of a whole body movement of sinking through our knees, rounding and hanging our head, and then pushing through our legs and lifting up. And just push through your legs straight down. Reach up through your chin. You can take multiple breaths. With an exhale when you're ready, you just bend the knees and curl down again slowly. So those two movements and positions, continue to explore at your own pace for one more minute. And enjoy your breath. Feel your breath. Close your eyes if you want. You'll focus more in your body sensation. And take your time. Moving in this smooth and really pleasant feeling way. You should feel softly opening into yourself. Relaxing the mind with a long, deep breath. And feeling how our breath, if it's deep and smooth, really connects everything. Take one more inhale to lift, and then when you exhale, come back to a straight standing posture. And just be still for a moment. Set your eyes to a far point or the wall or out the window. Feel how your body weight distributes through each area, down to your feet, down to the floor. Now, if it's a little challenging for your balance, you can keep your eyes open. But if you feel steady enough, close your eyes. Deep, slow breath. Awareness of the whole body. Awareness of how your weight distributes down to the floor. And let's take the next exhale, slowly open our eyes if they're closed, and shifting our weight to our left foot. Now, actually, too, we're not going to just shift the weight there. Let's bring awareness into our feet another way first. So we could just spread our toes and kind of dig in. Sometimes I've seen this kind of like twisting motion through the hip. Also nice, right? And as you twist like that, you're trying to lift and spread your toes, and then using some grounding through the ball of your foot and the toes to help stretch open the bottom of your foot and that area around the toes. All right? Let's do that with both feet a little bit. Let's try walking more towards the inside and the outside edge of our feet. Make your feet shaped, like engage the muscles around your feet and ankles so that this feels comfortable. If this doesn't feel comfortable or anything else like that happens, doesn't work for your body, just skip it, don't force. Feet wider and maybe some weight bending our knees, more on the big toe side or the inside edge. Now, of course, if we had structural imbalance of our feet, we might want to not do too much of that kind of exercise, right? This kind of alignment is what leads to a lot of people having the bunion or the large joint of the big toe. And we would work on that with some poses that help to move the force towards the outer side of the leg, right? Or if we were, now let's let the feet be more natural, but see if you can still do that. See if you can still shift weight more towards the small toe side and more towards the big toe side. And I don't care if your feet go wider or closer together either. That's fine. But try to change in the ankle joint. That small difference, smallest difference that you can make while the feet are in their more natural structure. All right, good. Now let's open up a little more. Come to stillness, ground your feet, hip distance or even closer. And now lift and spread your toes and then roll up onto your toes. Let your heels roll down, lift and spread your toes, roll up to your toes. Now let's just keep rolling like this. When we come up, see if you can keep your toes spreading. And try to lift as high as you can. Bring your heels up as far from the floor. Let's go another 10 or 20 seconds. And you can place the hands up or on the hips, lower back. Keep the heart space broad. And a little bit engaging the back if you'd like to. Kind of opening the chest. Training that healthy, upright, balanced posture of our spine. And it's hard, right? Sitting all the time, it's hard to keep your posture really good. So one antidote is don't sit so much, walk more, right? When we walk, our spine comes to really kind of more naturally, it's nice curves. And that's why sitting in chairs is, well, everything's natural, but it's not like healthy natural, right? Sitting in a chair all the time doesn't make a lot of sense. Our spine struggles to deal with that. Okay, last one for our ankles. Bring your heels down again. And now shift your weight to your left foot and bring your right foot forward. Roll your ankle. Full motion, as big of a circle as you can make. Not too fast. You want to feel it. Feel it. Let's go the other direction. And one more time, flex your foot, pull it up, spread your toes, and point, squeeze your toes, squeeze your foot, squeeze your ankle. Flex and spread your toes, and point and squeeze. Flex, and place your foot down. Okay, a little bit of stepping in place and switching. Left foot reaching forwards, and rotate your ankle. Change direction. And flex, pull your foot, your toes back, spread your toes wide. Point and squeeze, extend, even your quadriceps, extend your leg more straight. Point, then flex, toes spreading, still standing tall, balancing, and point. Squeeze. Flex, pull the toes up, and exhale, place your foot down. Okay, now let's move more on the knees and the hips, even though I had to do that for some of our feet exercise too. Swing your right leg and focusing on the bending of your knee when you swing your leg back. Imagine you're trying to lightly kick your own bum. Heel is coming close towards your sit bone. Of course, if you notice any strong resistance in your knee or discomforts or old injuries that you know you have, be careful with this exercise. You can do it lighter with less range. And also feel the alignment. You can stop for a second if you want, but when your foot is swinging backwards, think about if your hip is rotating, if you're in that swing. And can you feel like the heel is going straight up and back in that alignment with your hip? Let's try the left leg. Left leg swings. Focusing on that hamstring engaging to pull the heel up towards the bum. Okay, let's go back. First leg. And now more emphasis on swinging upwards. So try to go higher with your hip, with your foot. And slowing, placing it down, switching. And again, how it feels, make it the perfect swing for you, how far to go. Don't try to crash through the tightness if there's tightness. Float up to it. And release. Now let's take big rotations of our hips. So taking the right leg up and around. Try to lift it as high as you can. Hands can be on the hips, or you can float your hands to help maintain your balance. Other direction. Big circle. Think of going as far around as you can. As high, as forward, as back as you can. And placing it down. Other side. Left leg, big circles all the way. Last one. And down. Now, second direction with the leg. We're going to go forward. And while we're doing it, we can also feel strengthening of our standing leg, all that support around the hip joint. Switch. And movement is like a wave through the body. Even if you think you're only moving one joint or focusing on one movement, really there's a kind of wave, a ripple that goes through your tissues, and almost all your joints move a little bit. Let's place it down. Okay, a little wider feet, keeping some movement, slowing it down, and then circling the pelvis. So big circles slowly now. And allowing your spine to flow. Closing the eyes if you want, and feeling your body, feeling your breath. Make it really slow down to a stop. And when you get there, second direction, changing. And floating back to your normal posture, standing upright. Now, arms wide, open yourself through the chest, through the shoulders. And with an exhale, round your back, tuck your tail, squeeze, and hug yourself if you want. You can even use your fingers to grab around your shoulders or maybe your shoulder blades. Exhale it more. Inhale, open. All the way out to the fingertips and beyond with your awareness. And exhale. Cross your other arm on top. Alternate. Inhale. Open. Spread out your awareness. And exhale. Squeeze and hug yourself. Now. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to keep going, and stretch your fingers as your arms open out. Reach and stretch and spread your fingers. And I made up a new word now today, stretch. Stretching your fingers. In Deutsch, no, in English, no, in any language you want, stretching. Sprechen, actually, right? Last few rounds. Last one, open up. Relax from the exhale, just let the arms slowly down. Spine to return to its natural position, the chin to rest down slightly. Let's bring the feet in together. Hopefully you can feel a little bit from all these exercises so far that even standing, you feel a little bit more straight or tall in a kind of way. Your axis feels elongated. That should be a natural thing from doing all sorts of movements, but especially where we're consciously making that length and tone, where the muscles hug to the joints, right? And it takes complex movements to achieve that usually. Now, let's do a little bit on the spine and its side bending. Make sure you have that length. Let's just start to dip to one side and another. You can inhale to the center and exhale down. You can also try the opposite. It's interesting to see how that volume of air opens the lungs and how that can be part of the stretch, depending on where your body is. Okay, and after a few rounds, start to move the arm into that stretch up and over to that soft edge and then back. You know, like a palm tree in the wind, back and forth, slow motion. Those who are quite flexible, you start to go far enough, you feel how you have to engage your legs and your feet to maintain your balance and your position. So feel your feet grab the floor, your arches activate, your inner thighs hugging, especially as you go deep. Taking another few rounds. And returning back to the center. Now let's do a little bit of circular motion for our shoulders, for our arms. If you know dance of Shiva movements of the arms, you can do this exercise where we make an orbit. 4 positions. One position, first at your hips, your fingers are pointing in. Second position, drop down to your shoulders a little bit and turn your fingers out. Bring your arms in front of you, up above your head. Your fingers are turned in. And turn your fingers out and drop the shoulders wider. Come back forward and down to your hips. Back to 1. Right? 1. Turn out 2. Up over the head 3. Turn out 4. Back down. You can do this exercise fast, as long as it's controlled. But if you do it slow, you'll develop more stability of the joint. And thinking of it as the slower you do it, the more the muscles will be responsible for their part of the job, right? And therefore, the more they will work with each other, because you're moving through all these different unique positions. Every muscle group is part of the process. And all of them strengthening slowly like this will help to stabilize your joints to keep it healthy for a long time. Let's try going the opposite direction, right? From our hips, fingers turned in, moving up and out in front of us, turning back around over our head, coming forward and down, out, and back into the hips. Coming up and out, over the head in, down and out, and back to the hips. Slowly, a few more rounds. And relaxing the arms. And now let's just spread the fingers and make fists. Spread the fingers open and back, make fists. Open and back, make fist, and bring your arms up to your shoulders. So we just bring a little bit for the elbow flexion. Feel your fist or your palm. If you can flex your elbows more, you can put your palms to your shoulders, more onto your back. And then open out, back behind you. Spread your fingers out behind you and open your hand. And then bring it forward and fists or palms to your shoulders. Let's do that a few more times. At the end of your movement, flexing your elbow, biceps engaging, you can engage a little more deeply onto your bicep. When your hand is here, squeeze your biceps to close that space even a little more. Last one. And relax your arms back to your sides. Let's stand to the front of our mats. Hands at the heart center. Just checking in one more time with everything, the whole body from ground to sky, from head to feet. Feeling your breath and your body. Connecting with your attention. And exhaling, opening the eyes. And starting some soft Vinyasa movements. So inhale and reach our arms up. Let's turn the palms open as we lift our chest. And exhale, forward and down to your forward bend. Flat back and forward bend waves. Take a minute here. Inhale to reach forward through your spine. Keeping that exhale, lengthen and fold down. Slowly repeat. Lift as high as you need to in your flat back, pushing your legs. And sometimes we think of the range of motion as being the most important thing in the exercise, like how far can I go in the pose? Well, that's an interesting way to train the body, no doubt. And it can lead to other interesting places too. But think of all the different ways of experiencing what this exercise is. It's not only about getting deeper, getting deeper. For example, some people don't want to lift high because they think, oh, it means I'm not flexible if I need to lift up as high enough to get my back straight. But if you lift up high enough that you don't need to touch the floor, then you can use more of your core muscles, right? Sometimes less support, more core integrity. Let's go for 3 more times, and we're going to stay in our forward bend. Try to slow down each round. So it feels like your pause and forward bend is almost like just happening by itself. Now steady and breathing in forward bend. Even in the smallest ways, try to stabilize the experience of this position. Staying about 1 more minute. If the experience in the
muscles or anywhere in your body is intense or becomes extreme, you can come to a reasonable place to release or back off, let your body adjust. And when you feel the condition is good, back to the exercise. And it's important for yoga asana to be held long enough, not only for flexibility and stretching deeper, because not all asana are stretches anyway too, right? Not like how we typically think of stretching, but staying long enough in the pose gives the chance for our nervous system to change gears, to put itself into a different configuration, a different pattern of energy and sensations. And by doing that, the body, mind, breath, self complex that we exist as learns how to adapt and change to the circumstances with less stress, with less loss. And it brings us closer to finding the true well of ourself, the true seed of ourself, which can't be lost, right? It shows us that this important dimension of being has a enduring, everlasting quality. And if we can trust to that, then our contentment can arise from that with less dependency on mental games, right? Mental running for or away from things. Okay, now let's soften from here and start to bend our knees more. Place the hands down by your feet, and slowly we're going to start to do lunge positions, stepping forwards and backwards, alternating sides. Maybe good to spread your toes out, check your feet here again. And now we're going to curl in, exhale, and inhale, left foot back to your lunge. Take a big step. Dip down and lift your chest and your chin. Your knee can touch the floor, but it's not resting heavy and supporting you as such. It's more like a light contact as you continue to stretch up through the chest. Finish one more inhale, and then exhale. We're going to step back forward and curl into a ball. Take some weight out of your hands and really use your abs to try to crunch in with your forehead as close as you can to your knees. Then with the hands down, inhale and sneak your right leg back. Almost we're still in that curl. Once your leg lands, then start to lift your chest, drop down to your hips and your knee. Exhale, push down, step forward, curl in, less weight on the hands. Inhale, left leg back. Chest lifting. Exhale, step forward and crunch your forehead to your knees. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, crunch, step forward and curl in. Left. Together at the front. Exhale. Right. And forward. Two more, each side. One more each side. Good. Flat back again. Straight legs. Reach forward to your chest. Hold here. Exhale. Reach more forward through your spine. Grip through your toes. Slightly internally rotate your hips as you reach forward through your heart. Deep, complete breaths. Strong, complete exhale. And exhale, fold down. Bend the knees, plant the hands as before. Inhale, left leg back. And now exhale, twisting. Ground your left hand and take your right arm up. Inhale, hand to your knee, looking down, and exhale, open back up, twist open, squeezing your thigh and your abdomen close together. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One. Inhale the hand to the floor. Exhale, step back to plank position. Shoulders over your wrists. And now we're going to move down dog and plank. Inhale to down dog. Moving back through your tail, and kind of like your tail is getting pulled by a string up behind you. Adjust your feet if you need. Hip distance, a little bit internal rotation. And exhale, roll forward to plank. Lift your head at the end so the head is not hanging down. You can look just slightly forward on the floor in front of your mat. Inhale, the tail lifting and pulling us back. Try to move just your tail first and then follow it by pushing your arms. Exhale, forward plank. Inhale back through your tail to down dog. 3 more. Exhale. And inhale. Now let's step our left foot forward. Exhale. Low lunge position and twisting again. Taking an inhale, ground your right hand. And exhale, left arm twist open. Squeeze your belly and thigh close to this space in between. Inhale, turn down and hand to your thigh, your knee. Square to the ground. And exhale, twist open. Inhale. Exhale. Three more. And inhale your hand to the floor. Exhale to plank, step back. Inhale, tailbone pulling you back to down dog. Adjust your feet evenly. Try to lift through your tail as you inhale in down dog. And exhale, roll forward to plank. And let's go 3 more times with this wave, plank, and down dog. Last down dog. And exhale, child's pose. Bring the knees down, send the hips back. Let's check in for a moment here. Calming, settle everything into restfulness. And each exhale, let your body soften, let your weights connect to the ground. Become experienced in releasing tension. You can be skilled at letting go. Now let's start to curl up to sitting. Draw yourself up and back, sitting in Vajrasana. And let's come up onto our knees as well for camel pose prep. Now, you may want to take some folded blankets or cushions for your knees to be more comfortable if you need some cushioning there. Let's move without coming into the full pose. Full pose, I mean bringing our hands to our feet. It will be like the exercise we did in the beginning, quite the same. Okay, let's have our toes tucked. Dip down through your midline. Sit back towards your heels. You should get a bit of a toe, ankle, heel stretch there. And then let's inhale, lift, open, and kind of just fling your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, curl back into your seat. Inhale. And exhale. And begin to explore your own gesture or movement of the arms. You can really do a lot of different ways. And you can change other little things about this movement as well. You can come all the way down more. And if it feels in your practice today, you can come into holds or deeper positions. It's very nice to think about our practice as doing enough of some certain exercise that we generate a really noticeable sensation, a noticeable quality. Hopefully a pleasant one, sometimes an unpleasant one, but one that deserves attention, is due
attention and respect and working with consciously, right? Sometimes things are uncomfortable because they've been not consciously processed fully. And when is the processing done? I don't know. Right? Nobody knows. But people who are into that theory, that methodology, right? A lot of them report that the quality of life changes when you start to focus on those things, right? Those places of hiding tensions and discomforts, not wanting to acknowledge, or maybe just not aware of something and it's causing a kind of discomforts without us knowing how or why that discomfort is there. And the deeper theory says that all these discomforts only really come from two things, and that's from desire. Right? That's classic knowledge. Everybody knows that it's really exciting to want something. Seems like it's really great, makes us happy, makes us feel so alive, right? But that doesn't stay like that. You get it, and then it's like, great, okay, now what? Or I want more, or I want the next. Or, oh, well, I know I can't just only enjoy this, so it was great, but now I can't enjoy it. Oh, shucks, you know. So that's one side of it. We fear, or we have these desires. Because what if I don't get my desires, right? What if something else happens? Oh, I'm afraid of that. I want to run away from those things, right? But it is both of these things that if you learn to control them, to see through them, there's many places to find real contentment. By studying your behavior and how we flip between desire and fear or aversion. Aversion means want to run away, stay away. Okay, now we're going to have a second option for movement here. You can still continue this wave with camel pose. And the second option is going to be more on deeper extension of the camel pose. So we're going to use our inhalation to create lift, our exhalation to go further back, our inhalation to make lift and come back up, and our exhale to repoise or to reset or to rest into that experience for a moment. And if you feel like you really need a moment, then you stay for a longer moment in a different position, right? Maybe standing, maybe on the heels, maybe child's pose. You can take a minute or so, right? Or feel welcome to hold in the stretch or to keep moving. And again, that pattern with the breath. Inhale to open, lift. Exhale to go further back as you send your hips forward. Inhale to lift, like a string is pulling up the heart. And exhale is your repoise. Anything that you feel you need, it could be just the beginning of the exercise or something more, until you feel to move again. So let's do this for another 1 or 2 minutes about. Just a little bit more last rounds. And coming into a more grounded, stable position, sitting on your heels or child's pose, whatever is naturally comfortable for you for the repoise. Just observing. Good. From here now, come to laying down. We're going to just walk out. Coming into Sphinx. Shoulders under, or sorry, elbows under your shoulders. And as we're here, feel with your breath and your core muscles to your abdomen. How we support the spine, the spaces between the vertebrae, all the way up the spine to the neck and the skull. Now, keeping length through the spine, let's start to walk our arms out further and coming down lower. Low ribs are on the mat here now. And then draw all the arms back and take them away from the floor. Or let's just say, let's let them very lightly rest on the floor for now. Now back is much more engaged. Again, repoise, center, smooth softening of the breath, but still deep. See if you can, in a way, feel relaxed and soften any tensions in your arms, your shoulders, your feet, your face. We're going to hold for a while. If it becomes very strenuous, like you're shaking, or you feel a lot of tension creeping up in the body, you can do one of two things. One would be make it easier, just come down lower, but keep holding. And two, if that doesn't work, take a little rest and then come back into the exercise as we continue. So we want to find the easiest way of working in this position for a long time. You can close your eyes and focus on the breath. Feeling through your body. Where is the position of the head and reaching the neck? If your head could be perfectly aligned with your spine, where exactly would it be here? If you feel that, you can explore with tiny, tiny movements of the neck and the head. Now let's make sure we're not starting to use our arms. And take your arms back. Slide them back. Let them stay heavy. Turn your palms up. Again, remember, if you start to feel significant tension or discomfort, soften or take a break. Keep observing. Breathe and feel and observe every embodied sensation from your third eye to your toes. And let's come to relaxation. You can rest your head and your arms any way that you want. And opening our eyes. Let's take the right arm out. I'm going to open the chest and the shoulder. Hand in line with the top of your head and roll over your right shoulder. You can adjust by kind of wiggling, pressing the left arm a little bit. Then take the left arm up. Full inhale here, reaching out through your fingers, out through your arm. And exhale down to the right hand. Keep the arm straight and lever straight down towards the right hand, even if you don't make it. If you do make it, grab your fingers. Slowly change sides. And when you're in the center, realign yourself straight and take the left arm out as high as your head and roll over. Adjust. Inhale the right arm up, palm back, reach out through your fingers. Then exhale, take the right arm all the way down as far as it'll go towards the left arm. Keep looking up to the right, strengthening the neck. And rolling back down. Adjust to center, little rest. Falling in love with the rhythm of your own breath, the feeling of your breath and your body, when everything is connected, conscious, harmonized. And from there, the contentment arises, right, through harmony. Now let's come into kind of an assisted little Cobra here. Use your hands with your fingers turned in. You can make many different kinds of little movements, wiggles. Come into your Cobra and then release down once for bow, for Dhanurasana. Taking the hands back. Now let's start with some Vinyasa. Exhale the legs up. Inhale, soften.
and repeat. Exhale, up. Work with what you feel and continue. I'm going to do 3 to 5 more. You can hold the pose after this few more. If the pose feels not sustainable for you, try to find an easier position, same technique, or do the Cobra pose instead. Work with what you feel. Respect your body's limits. Stay with your breath. And make contentment arise from the harmony. Three more breaths. And rest any position. Release, observe, relax, enjoy. Fall in love with your own breath, with your own harmony. And as will happen, sometimes a desire or a fear will push you out of your harmony. It'll make you think you need or don't need or deserve or don't deserve something. But all of that is mind games. And harmony is all of the parts coming together. And now take your time. Child's pose. And you may also like this. I like the feeling in my child's pose to engage the abs, to try to crunch in a little more, as long as I'm feeling that's nice for stretching and releasing the lower back. If you feel really strong, kind of noticeable, specific point of discomfort after you do your back bends and you go to child's pose, don't try to do what I just said too much, right? Don't engage your abs. Don't flex your spine too much too soon. If you feel tightness holding on after a back bend, do softer, easier positions and take your time before you go to a deep forward bend. Let's lift up to sit again and then transition to sitting cross legs. And you can stay in cross legs, or you can move to the Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spinal twist. One variation of this step, let's do our right leg over our left leg, and the left leg is bent as well with the foot close to the hip. Some people will find it more easier or comfortable to keep the left leg straight, extended forwards. And a lot of good methodology encourages us to keep our grounded
straight leg active in these poses. So you're engaging your quads, you're flexing your foot back, maybe spreading your toes, or at the very least, just slightly active so that the toes, the knee, the alignment of the leg stays pointing up with its relationship to our hip. Okay, and then let's do a few movements. Inhale the arm up. And exhale to twist. We're not going to hold the twist. We're just going to squeeze it. Squeeze, squeeze, keep twisting. And then inhale, open up again to the front. Lean forward, maybe even a little rocking, adjusting. Want to have a really good foundation. And then exhale, twist. One more. Inhale up. And exhale, twist. See if you can push through your right foot to help you twist deeper. Use your arm to hook to your leg. You can rest your left hand to your chest or shoulder. Or if you combined, exhale, take the arm through the outside of your leg and catch your hands together. Keep breathing and look to the right as you twist to the right. Slowly release. And take the right leg for bow pulling or hip rotation or cradling. There are many exercises you could be doing for this part. Simple one is to grab around our leg or bring your shin close to your chest in some way. One of the easiest ways to work on that is the reclined, grabbing our thigh or our shin. And just keeping everything close to the ground. Keep your tail close to the ground, your shoulders close to the ground, pulling down and in. Those that have the range of motion, you can work on leg behind the arm, the shoulder, or the head, either laying on the back or sitting upright. And coming out of your variation, back to cross-legged sitting up. And now taking the, which one are we on? The left leg, stepping over the right leg. Your other leg can be straight or bent. Your left foot far enough forward that you can push your left foot into the ground to help you sit upright taller. And left hand back, inhale, right arm up. Exhale, twist, squeeze, stay tall. Inhale, lift and open, reach up, lean forward. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach up, lean forward. Exhale, twist and hold the twist. Slowly release. And any variation for your hip external rotation, stretching up towards your chest. Most accessible, easiest to use variation, lying on the back, hold the shin and pull in. And coming back to cross-legged sitting and your preferred meditation asana. We're going to sit for a few minutes, cross legs or Vajrasana, props if you need. You may want to sit at the front of your mat so that when you have the opportunity to lay down in Shavasana, you can just lay right back. Close your eyes and be in this harmony generating from the awareness and the streaming of your attention, staying with your body, your breath, and your sensations as we practice the class together today. With your hands, connect the tips of the index and the thumb. And observe as you breathe. Rising of contentment. And in this rising of contentment, you can throw away the self-doubt. It's fine to doubt other things. It's only natural. But when it comes to this being, this beingness, which is you here right now, be completely without doubt. Instead, be completely with contentment. We'll find that it's challenging at times to find this feeling of contentment arising naturally. But you can focus your life so that you live very close to this harmony. And where it will start to become obvious. You are the manifestation of yourself, and contentment is part of that. If something challenges that, focus, attention, streaming attention is your tool. Harmony of the self. It is the fruit and the practice. It is the result and the way. You may remain in your seated meditation for the rest of the class if you prefer. You might also do your Shavasana after we finish the class and stay in meditation until then. You're also welcome to lay down from here into Shavasana to relax your body fully. But before we do, let's chant 3 ohms, up to 9 ohms, 3 to 9 ohms chanting. And then either staying sitting or laying down to relax. reawakening from your place of center, your place of knowingness. Deepen your breath as you start to gently move your body. And if you're laying down, just take a moment to stretch and roll to the side. When you're ready, sit up. Comfortable seated pose. And shall we close this practice with gratitude? So I'm very thankful for you to join, to have this opportunity to share, to feel this practice and how it helps to bring connection to our life, both inner and outer. And I'm grateful for all of the people and places that have been part of this journey, part of this network of connection and awareness. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. Have a beautiful day. Look forward to seeing you again in the next practice. And if you have any questions, comments, things to share, let me know. And like, subscribe the channel. And I just started a new YouTube channel I'd like to share. There's going to be a garden project here at my home this year that I'm making hopefully quite a gigantic permaculture garden. And I'm going to be kind of documenting this, so sharing the process, the planting techniques, the plants I'm growing, also cooking and recipes, and many other related things to sustainable, healthy living. There might be some cob structures, kind of earth building practices I might make around out back and share the natural life with you. There's also maybe even a third channel coming where I'm just going to share any other things, right? So I'll have the yoga, the garden and healthy living channel. It's called Grounded Growing Living. And third channel for, you'll see, surprises.